Hey everyone, how you guys doing tonight, today, wherever you're from in this beautiful world? I've got a beautiful panel here of really beautiful people. So we all got some cheese and beer. Something we probably all planned on, and well, I know I did. I got my cheese right away after the last one. But yeah, we all got a beer and a cheese to go with it to pair. We're gonna start with Eric. Let me introduce all you guys. We got Thomas Middle 75. Sorry, I used your name. Sorry about that. Miscellaneous Magnets. We got the Smoking Ninja. He's new here, and I'm very happy you're here. So welcome. Oh my God! Let me turn my phone off.
Look, Most Hated Grower showed up. Nice.
All right. But so we got Bumpy Road Brewery here as well, and we have Nina Yorty. Cool. And we got the beer man here. So yeah, no, welcome guys, and we got Most Hated Grower here. Right on. Cheers, man. Much love, bro. All right. Thank you for being here. We're gonna do our taste. We'll start with Eric. Go for it, brother. All right.
Thomas Milson, Masters of Beer Reviews channel of YouTube. Thanks for having me, Bumpy and it's your show, Beerman. Oh, I'm used to saying thank you, Bumpy, on Monday.
You're welcome. Wrong show, bud.
Thank you, Mr. Steve. This is Lawson's Finest Liquid for the beer. They do a Super Session IPA, New England style of lower ABV beers. It's their number 4 session, Super Session, and it's featuring the Centennial hop. For those that don't know, Lawson's Finest Liquids is out of the state of Vermont. However, this brewing is done by the Two Rose Brewery. They do a lot of contract brewing, and they're out of Stratford, Connecticut. This is 4.8% IPA, alcohol by volume, and they're in the Mad River Valley of Vermont, where they're pretty much from. They use copious additions of Centennial hops late in the kettle and in dry hopping. So I poured the beer already, and you can see where the lacing is and where all the head started its life. It's a very orangey color, a little bit of lemony yellow towards the bottom of the glass on my end. There's really nice, rich-looking carbonation, if you can kind of see that a little bit there. And it's got a bone white, it's kind of off-white head. Now it's a finger. The nose on this one is very tropical. It's got that grapefruit and orangey fruit juice kind of note to it. I am getting some caramel and toffee malts and a little bit of like the pine resin oiliness to it. A white bready Pilsner malty kind of crackery note in the background. And there's maybe even a little bit of like a toasty note with that one. There's a very light amount of like a bubble gummy kind of a yeast. So I don't know if they're using white wheat malt. I would not be surprised in the least. So smells really good, refreshing, and easy going with a lot of aroma. Cheers.
So
wow, you could crush that without thinking about it. It's on the light side of medium, and definitely more tropical juice notes come out when you start drinking the beer. Mangoes, pineapple, a lot of grapefruit, a lot of orange. There's definitely the caramel and toffee next. There's a little bit of a chalkiness when it dries. There's a little bit of astringency. Nothing too crazy. It is pretty dry for what it is. Again, that toasty malt's coming out. A little bit of that bubble gummy, tropical kind of a note there. Maybe that's like the fruit smoothie, or some people say fruit salad kind of note there. Yeah, and then I'm getting that piney note from the Centennial. So I'm kind of getting the New England session style IPA mixed with some of that, a little bit of malty pine resin West Coast thing. So pretty cool hybrid beer with easy drinkability. So the cheese I'm bringing is one I've never even heard of before. They're out of Plymouth, Wisconsin, and I guess it's a cheese of their own doing. It's from the what do they call them? The fromager known as Santori, and they make a Belvitano Gold. Now, apparently, it's a hard cheese, it's a hard cow's cheese, and it's their own creation from places I'm looking at on the internet. One website says it's a combination cross between an Irish cheddar Parmesan and an aged provolone with fruity overtones. And they make it also with espresso, raspberry, Merlot. And a lot of people say it says surprisingly creamy, rich texture, and kind of, I hear buttery a lot. So let me get a little piece of that one and start. They look very white in camera. Start chowing down on that.
Nice wedge of cheese.
Yeah, definitely got a little bit of a buttery, creaminess. It reminds me of like a Parmesan with some of its salty character. And then it reminds me of the cheddar with its sharp, kind of fruity tang to it. So imagine that one right over pizza. If you like a sharp tang and you like sort of that buttery Parmesan and that Parmesan kind of a mouthfeel, and I don't know, if you like good Italian cheeses, you're going to like that one. So A plus on that one so far. That was $5.99 for that wedge. Let's see what the beer tastes like with it.
Huh.
And there's a little bit of saltiness to it, definitely.
I see Parmesan as a dry cheese most times I encounter it. Would you call that a dry cheese, Thomas?
Yeah, I would definitely say the body of it's pretty dry. The mouthfeel
Okay.
is pretty dry. It's reminding me of that, definitely. Yeah. So, maybe even a little toasty. So the beer takes out most of the sharpness, and I'm actually getting more of like a fruity kind of a tang on that one, and a lot of the salt is coming back on that one. So pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna sit down and think about this and let the rest of the panel give their thoughts. Yeah.
Nice, dude. That's great.
Yeah,
That
I know.
good.
Me and Bumpy have both had that Bellavitino brand. I did their beer cheese, and he did was it Moet or the I can't remember which one it was. The wine.
I think
I got like an
yeah,
Asiago type
wine
of
one.
feel
It
to
was
it.
like a wine one. Yeah, it was.
They got a Merlot one.
Merlot,
Yeah.
Yep, on their website, and a Chardonnay one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chardonnay
it was
one
like
too.
a little bit dry, powdery. Gave me like it was like an Asiago cheese kind of texture.
I'll agree
and
with that.
feel.
All their cheeses are very are the hard Italian style cheeses.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Right. I see my eyebrows in my eye.
The Merlot flavor when I did that came through quite nice. So
the beer definitely brings out the fruity, or the cheese definitely brings out the fruity aspects of the beer, no doubt about it.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Let me reach out real quick to the chat. Then we got miscellaneous. So we'll start with Eclipse, Beer Barbecue Baseball, Jesus Freak, Jeremy, John and Neely, Lone Star Beer Reviews. Thank you guys. Popo, what's up? Popo Backyard Farm. Man, it's good to have you. We got Nathan here with the NDT show. Nice. Woo. You guys are great. Blake TV, can't miss you, bro. Cheers, man. Good to have you here, man. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You rock. So awesome. Hell yeah, dude. So we're on to Miscellaneous Magnets. Here we go.
Minutes?
All right. Got a little
minutes.
So what I've got here is by Cook Stav. This is an artisan beer project. This is their Wild Sage Brett Saison. This has their Wild Sage from Colorado with tart Brett, incorporating fresh herbs, including white sage and lemongrass. So this can it's very tight. I've had an issue with these Brett beers before, so I'm going to aim away from my computer, and hopefully this thing doesn't blow up.
Here we go. It did. Oh.
A little bit.
Yes.
No spillage though. All right. Last time I opened one of these, it was like champagne, man. It was fucking
good memory.
Gonna paint your ceiling.
Wild ass.
Gonna paint your ceiling. Yeah. Fluffy head.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Looks great.
Right.
Tightest boy.
Yeah. 2-finger head. All kinds of big bubbles in there. Definitely looks soapy, sudsy. Got a pretty good color to it. It's usually saisons are. It's lighter in color as I expected on the description. Murky for sure. It's got like a lemony, light orange juice color to it. Can see some sediment floating around in there. All right, so on the nose, it's definitely you can definitely know that there's that Brettanomyces yeast in there because it's very sharp. It's got like a salty, almost coriander type smell coming off of it. Not getting too much sage or lemongrass. By the way, I'm not a big fan of sage, but that's okay because I bought this to conquer the cheese that I got. So
Not to conquer the spirits in your home.
nope.
Light that up on fire and just bring out the smoke everywhere.
You need Tangina for that.
All right. So it is different. Very earthy, herby, horse blankety. Almost medicinally kind of taste to it. Beer Man so eloquently puts it as Band-Aid. And
Nice.
Band-Aid and throat mail. Mm.
no throat mayo, just
Okay.
Band-Aidy. Yeah, that's definitely a saison if I ever smell one. So not bad, light, crisp, refreshing. It's got that funk to it that you would normally get in a saison. So cheese I got tonight is a garlic herb goat cheese.
Oh, you love your goat cheese.
Well, my wife bought me the garlic herb cheese, so I'm like, what kind of beer am I going to possibly find that's going to go with garlic? So I saw this sage and lemongrass. So there's the log of cheese. Smells a bit like cream cheese, chives, almost like a sour cream and onion kind of smell to it. So go ahead and get some off of here. It's got a cream cheese like texture to it for sure. Very sticky and moist. So there we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very rich. Coat your whole mouth. There's a lot of garlic flavor coming out of that. It's not bad. I'm not opposed to it. Herbs. It's got like some Italian herbs coming out, like oregano and basil. Get a little thyme notes coming out of it. Not bad. Definitely think this would be better on like toast or crackers. Probably not meant to be eaten like this. So, yeah, what are you gonna do? Just try them together.
Spread that on a bagel.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. With some salmon.
My God, this cheese is so rich.
And everything.
I guess don't put that on a cheeseburger.
Crumble it on a salad or something, I guess.
I don't think you can crumble this cheese.
It's too schmeary.
Schmearhead.
Fish with it.
It's actually
Moist
good.
pap smear.
The cheese works well with the beer. It's brought some down that Band-Aidy, medicinally, hospital room kind of taste feel to it.
Hope you don't get MRSA.
It did lighten up on the flavors of the beer, though. I did get more of that, some of the lemongrass notes out of it. Definitely brought down the horse blanket and the beer. Still, beer kept light, tangy, crisp on the tongue. I'm gonna sit around and eat more of this and decipher what I can get out of it.
Nice, man.
Yeah, well, it sounds like the cheese is helping out the beer there. So
Yeah, working with it. Nice. It's good. Okay. All right, so let's get up with the chat real quick again here before we go to Smokey.
Okay.
Smoky Ninja, that is. The Smoky Ninja. We got Anonymous Coward. We got Jeremy. Cut the cheese,
damn it, Jeremy.
Jeez. Yeah, right, BBB. What did BBB say? Let's see. What did Barbary Baseball? Good to have you here, man.
Yeah, I love
it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Recent subscriber.
And Eclipse is here as well. Man, welcome. And cheers, y'all. I'm not in the South anymore, but I like to say that word. I said it a lot when I lived in North Carolina. Have you ever had Legendary Alex on this show? I haven't.
Ooh.
I'd love to have him here. I'm rich, bitch. Last month,
Long story.
hospital with cheese. Interesting. Smell
No,
of
the cheese doesn't taste like that. The beer tastes.
damn.
Hot damn.
Yeah, you are funny. You're funny,
Cold
man.
that cheese.
Damn. Maybe it was all that CBD I took earlier. All right. So Smoky Ninja, man, it's your turn. We are ready for you. I'm gonna bring you up.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Dude.
So I'm pretty new to this. I'm new to all the different beers, but I've been recommended this one, Ballast Point Victory at Sea.
Yes.
This one was bottled about 7 months ago, from what I know. Since it's a 10%er, that has absolutely no problem being cellar. So I'm going to go ahead and crack this bad boy open. It's a vanilla coffee porter. And I normally start with stouts, and I've learned IPAs are really wonderful. And so as much as everyone talks about this beer, I figured I have to eventually try it. And it is absolutely wonderful when you pour it into the glass. It is as dark as you would expect a stout to be, but when you were pouring it, it kind of had a caramel, because I could see a red in the bottom of it. It is a beautiful looking beer.
Cheers.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It is
yeah,
beautiful.
cheers.
It's pretty.
You do not taste 10% on this at all. This is probably the best beer I have ever had until this point.
Yeah.
Heard that first right here on Beer Man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, most times when somebody says vanilla, like it never actually tastes like vanilla. And if it does, it's artificial. But this is actually, I can't believe this is not a stout. They get to call it whatever they want. But the body on it is as heavy as I would imagine a stout to be, and the bubbles are dancing around like nitro.
Let me try this real fast.
Oh.
Big up yourself.
So instead of a very exotic cheese, I just have a good sharp cheddar. So instead of boring you with exactly what that cheese tastes like, as we all know what it is, I can give you a fun fact that all yellow and orange cheese is dyed. There is absolutely no truth to cheddar having to be yellow. That was just an original marketing ploy back in the day. So I'm going to take a nice bite of cheddar cheese, and I'm going to take a swig of this delicious beer.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Fuck yeah. But I've never paired beer with cheese, because most time I find eating something until I'm done with beer normally ruins the room I have made for beer. So
I don't want to ask how you made that room.
after I tried them both together, I can definitely see how somebody would want to pair a very powerful cheese with a beer, because it does change the taste of that beer after the cheese. So I guess I'm done with that. But man, Ballast Point, wow, 2 thumbs up.
Hell yeah, man. No, that's great, dude. Dude, Ballast Point is the shit, dude. They're one of my favorite. I know they got bought out and this, that by blah, blah, blah. But they have some great beer, man. They really do.
Hell
But,
yeah.
cool. That was a great review. You did a great job. So that was great, dude.
Thank you guys.
Cool.
Thank you.
Look at the little hand claps. Okay, we got Bumpy next. I want to say thank you to all the chat people. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys are great for being here. Thank you so much. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Why
It's your fucking turn.
I can't answer. If you stick around, maybe you'll find out.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
So I've already poured some of this in the glass
Show up.
to speed up the process. The beer I have is called Silence of the Hams.
Yeah.
This is a Belgian style quadruple at 11% ABV. And when you pour it out of this giant glass, it splashes a little bit.
Your pinky out.
But with a pinky.
Big beer for a big guy.
This pinky is. I have a numbness in this pinky, so it does stick out quite a lot. I don't intentionally do that. Numb pinky. But yeah, it pours with kind of a small head, actually, and it's a little bit off-white color. It's kind of going into that like light khaki pant coloration. There is plenty of carbonation pouring up through the sides. You probably see that right there.
Oh yeah.
And it has a nice kind of, I don't know, mahogany coloration to the brew itself. You can't see through it. I don't know if it's haze or it's just the darkness of the beer itself. Probably a little bit of both. If you hold it up to a light, you do get a nice red glow at the bottom. But you can't see that because the light's over there. I'll just talk about the cheese real quick before I tell you about the beer. The cheese that I'm going to be pairing this with is, cut the bottom off so I can just slide it out. But this comes from.
Watch out for the beer.
Yeah, I know. I almost knocked that over. That would have been bad. Red apple cheese. They're out of Connecticut. And this is a mango habanero.
Interesting.
That's the cheese I'm going to do with this. All right. Silence of the hams.
Salute.
You know, the aromas on it. It's very candy forward. They do use the candy sugars and stuff like that as a Belgian style you would. So every single note I'm going to say basically just add candy to the end of it. Plum.
Candy.
Apple.
Dark. No, candy.
Cherry.
Candy.
Plum, apple, cherry. Those are the aromas that come out of. They're all candy sweet. There's a candy sweetness to the aroma. And the flavors.
Nice.
Yeah. Sure.
There's a little bit of a breadiness, like a dark bread, almost like a toasted bread note coming up from the malt. But there is kind of more or less that like kind of cherry note kind of comes through more than a plum or the apple. There is a slight bittering finish to this one. It's kind of on the earthy tone. Does have a lingering bitterness, which I don't know. Most quads, I don't really notice bitterness, but hey, this one's made in America. So yeah, it's it's not bad. The body feel on it.
Whoa.
I would put this just going into just reaching into that kind of full body. Carbonation actually doesn't kind of like spritz on the tongue or anything like that. So even though the carbonation bubbles are rising up a lot, you don't really notice the carbonation. I think it's because of the fullness of the body, but it's probably at least a medium carbonation in this. It actually, I think, maybe because of all the sugars and stuff that are added. Like I said, they're probably using like beet sugar, which would be any type of Belgian candy sugar is made out of beet sugars. So if Drew was here, he could tell you all about that because he works with beets. But yeah, it does do a nice drying effect on the palate, even being a fuller body. You'd expect more of a drying from like a lighter body beer, but I think it's the amount of sugars and stuff that are added to it definitely do dry that out. All right, let's try this cheese. I have not even really taken out of the package, so I don't know what it smells like. I don't know what it tastes like.
Candy.
I'm gonna slide it on out.
Candy.
You guys taking odds on spicy or sweet?
But yeah, I have no clue. Now this Gouda does have a slight yellow hue to it, so I don't know if that's artificial coloring or not.
Jeremy.
If
Kind of the mango.
maybe could tell me. I'm gonna cut this like a
Pizza.
pie.
Mm.
Make a little pie slice out of it.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Just,
like
just a
cheesecake.
little slice.
Cheesecake.
All right. Well, I mean, it smells like Gouda.
It's a Gouda smell.
It's good.
I don't know. How can I say that?
Somebody had to.
Smells milky and cheesy.
Oh, there's mango. I did smell mango in it.
Yes.
So this is a mango habanero. I'm not picking up on a spiciness in the nostrils, but there's definitely a mango note in there. I think the Goudas that I've had have all been smoked, so I'm used to like small smoke. There's no smokiness in this because it's not a smoked Gouda, but it's a very sweet smelling, kind of soft, creamy cheese aroma. I guess is the best I can kind of describe it. It doesn't smell super funky or anything like that. Let's eat it. It's creamy. It's buttery.
Sweet.
It's got some heat building up on it.
Wow.
There's a tad bit of that mango flavor in there, mixed with the cheese. It mixes well, and then you just got this like you get the Gouda cheese flavor as well, which is nice. So that's kind of the forefront of it with a little bit of that mango, and then the spiciness. Like I don't taste the habanero pepper itself, but there is a spicy heat building up on the back of my tongue. And it's not overpowering at all. I'm sweating because it's hot in here. You can probably crank the ACs a bit more, but yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah. It's got a nice heat amount. There is a heat in there, so it's good.
So maybe some sweet beer will offset the heat.
What to see?
No mangoes. You didn't mention the mango. No.
I did mention the mango.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, I'm not saying that. Oh man, gotta listen.
Surprised that Gouda didn't have a wax on the outside. Normally, they've got a very notable wax to them.
Yeah, no.
Wax on
The whole cheese looks like wax itself.
Okay.
It has a layer to it.
Well, there should be like a crayon-y kind of waxy outer layer to it. I wonder if they took that off to marinate it in kind of mango.
Well, it says mango in the packaging, which I didn't read. It says it has habanero added with mango flavoring.
I got you now. All right.
It comes from Connecticut. I don't know.
Connecticut's
I don't know what those people in Connecticut do, besides run casinos and harass
Connecticutans.
Yeah, they harass out-of-towners.
Bunch of pull-ups with delicious pizza, those Connecticuters.
Yeah,
Connecticutans. That's perfect.
I know. I got one I could say, but we had a female in the room.
Stack of
Connecticut.
I'm an Oregonian.
That's how I learned how to spell Connecticut. I cut the cheese.
I think the beer and the cheese, they kind of they go together. As far as not one's overwhelming the other. The beer itself, the quad, washes away a bit of that spiciness a little bit, but I am left with a residual spiciness afterwards. But it wasn't overpowering to begin with. And I think the mango flavor goes well with the kind of like that candied like plum and cherry and stuff kind of that comes through with the beer. So
Did it
do?
Was it good? I mean, you're not eating. I know you're not getting your score yet, but it was good. I mean, it seemed good enough.
He took several bites. I would assume that he's pleased with it.
Did it off?
Because I won it.
No, that's cool. I'm looking forward to your answer.
I got a big old mouth. I put a whole.
Yeah, you have that in your mouth.
Yeah,
full on.
I want some now too.
Yeah, me too, man. Mango and spices sound good.
You pass them over, man.
Yeah.
Whiskey Scout.
I think the spiciness does go well with the quad. The sweetness from the quad, I think it does go well with the spiciness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sweetness of the malt and everything.
I didn't mention this before we go to Nina. This is an 11% beer. I mentioned that. You don't notice the alcohol. There's no alcohol flavors to it. There's no alcohol burn from the 11%. So.
Wow, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. All right.
That's going to have to go in when I mention my scoring. I'll have to add that in there.
Yeah. All right, man. Can I get some? No, I'm just kidding.
It started so slow. I didn't know if you wanted to be solo or.
I'm just kidding, man. I was just.
Woo, Bumpy!
That's how the slow clap works.
We need some bongos next week.
I'm doing the fat cat snap right now.
Oh my god, dude.
Nick.
All right. So we can, thank you, Bumpy.
Oh, and did I mention that my Gouda cheese was moist?
Good and moist.
Yeah, moist.
Beer drinking game. Take a chug every time he says moist. It's a fun mini game for everybody.
I need more beer.
Oh my god, dude. All right, so we got Nina here. We're gonna go with you, Nina. Right on.
All right, hey there.
Here we go.
Nina!
Yeah, I got my beer poured. It's been I've been playing with it, looking at it. It's a Weiss over here. I got what do you call this? A shandy. Got the Leinenkugel. The grapefruit summer shandy.
What kind of beer goes with
And I mean, I'm thinking there's a little bit of what do you call that? A swish and pour hanging out in the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
love it.
She
Please.
is nice and cloudy and yeasty and weedy, and I don't want to spill it yet, but I've also got my other can to show off because my cheese came in a container, because I have the cottage cheese. I know a highly debatable cheese among some people, and I do not understand how this cannot be a staple in many people's diets. It's so simple, so healthy. These are the curds and whey, baby. So unfortunately, this is borderline not kosher, being 1%. You want to stick with like a 2% milk for health reasons, you know, but a lot of milk tends to be 1%. And I have yet to see this special cottage cheese, the whipped style cottage cheese.
I saw that.
Available as 2%, but you know, the 1%, perfectly fine. Anyway, I have from the garden some fresh chive today. Fresh chive, kind of like and I've put that on top. I've got some saltine crackers here, so I'm just going to put that over to the side. Now, obviously, you're not going to get a whole lot of a smell from your straight up. You're going to get kind of a salty vibe from your cottage cheese. Actually, I think it's mostly just the curds, but they do add salt because I know they have like a low sodium variant of cottage cheese. Well, anyway, I'm going to go for a sip of my shandy first here, because you can smell this sucker across the room like a grapefruit candy. You know, and I had to take a sip of this thing when Bumpy was hyping his up with all the candy flavors, because I knew mine was coming. So a big nostril of grapefruit. I think you might get kind of that lemony note from the yeast they use in this. A Weiss is a German beer, but do they use a Belgian yeast in shandy beers? I know this is like a summertime thing. Kind of like a lemonade usually, or in this case, a grapefruit aid mixed into it. So yeah, the body of these beers, deceptively heavy, gives you that. You know, it's got the wheat body, the weedy, yeasty body, which I think gives it a heavier weight than a lot. Even it's kind of in cream ale territory, but it still has that watery finish. You know, on your palate. I want to say I'm tasting a lot of lemon in this grapefruit, so I would wonder if there is like they're very similar. They're all citrus, but yeah, I'm noticing obviously citrus forward. There's not a dry. I guess there's a dry note to this. You just want to suck one of these suckers down. Very summery. I'm feeling like, I'm hanging out. Summertime is perfect. Yeah, like what is it? It's the summer solstice we had the other night, so this is like perfectly on
It
schedule.
was? Oh wow.
Yeah. We had like 10 hours of, or more than that. We had 14 hours or something of sun.
No wonder why my wife yelled at me.
I got a big saltine of cottage cheese
Setting
here.
up the moon.
Very neutral. This is all forecast. This is going to be a very neutral cheese. I'd like to be able to think of some other cheeses to compare, like mascarpone or ricotta would be, kind of on the same wavelength.
Got cheese on your lip, Nina. There you go.
Oh.
So
Bless your heart.
What do you call it? The chive is kind of really rocking to the forefront on this. I'm picking up a major chiveness. Obviously, I added fresh chive to this. That might throw a little bit of a wrench in my pairing here because, it's more of a green taste forward, whereas that neutral taste I feel would really rock with this, this citrus forward brew. Yeah. Wow. So these two pair very gently together. That very wet, moist finish that I got off of the lemon notes with the yeast. And again, I'm getting the moisture from the cottage cheese. Oh. Now, the cottage cheese moisture is the whey percentage of this. I think we're all familiar with, you get your yogurt and there'll be that little millimeter or so of fluid on top of your yogurt. And, a lot of people pour that down the drain. Personally, I would advise not to do that because that is where the calcium is in your milk product. You could feed that to a rabbit. You could, give that to your pets, whatever. You could drink
your rabbit pets.
Healthy. I don't have a rabbit, but I did actually have a rabbit for a very long time. It was an outdoor pet. I know it had its hutch. It didn't like to come inside. Anyway, I never fed it cheese, but it would. The rabbits are currently eating all of my herbs.
Agreed on
my chives. So anyway, yeah, this is a great pair. Nice and gentle on the palate. If you had a hangover and you wanted to get a beer in the, you could probably rock this for breakfast.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, man.
This is a tried and true in the household.
Nice.
Yeah. I'd recommend if you have an aversion to cottage cheese, get out there and get back on the horse, so to speak. Give it another shot. Give it a whirl.
Nina, I have a question about the whips. Like when you open it, does it separate? Like, do you have to like mix it up like cream cheese? Like, I'm so blown away that it said whipped. I've never seen that.
An incredibly small curd. I feel like the curd has been kind of like sifted or something and maybe put through like some kind of, I don't know, unit that brought down the curd down, or maybe they whipped it. I don't know. It seems like it's engineered. When you see a cottage cheese curd, it's usually like 7 or 8 times the size of what you get in this. Check it out next time you see it.
Yeah, I'll try to smear it on something.
And if Friendship is listening, I would love to see a 2% of the whipped in my local grocer, please.
Write that down, Friendship.
Yeah, Friendship, please.
Cottage cheese has been one of the ones on my list. I just never did it, so I'm glad you did that tonight.
I'm excited to see your opinion on it.
I haven't done cottage cheese. I like the large curds, man. I like to really crunch into those, like mush into them. But,
do you go savory or sweet? Yeah. Do you put fruit or do you go like savory? Because you can
usually peach, like peach or apricots or anything canned fruits or like that syrupy fruitiness.
Fruit cocktail.
If anyone tunes into Beer, Barbecue, and Baseball's channel, he had an interesting beer the other night. It was a pineapple 211 Steel Reserve. Yeah. And to be perfectly honest, that would be an amazing pair with cottage cheese.
It would.
I gotta try to settle something here because Thomas Meadow, you're around my neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Fight.
The fruit that Bearman just mentioned. If you know what it is, how do you pronounce it?
The fruit he mentioned.
Oh,
Apricots.
I say apricot too.
Apra.
So
It's
up here in the
apricot,
Northeast,
man.
we say apricot. Everybody else around the United States is apricot.
I
So
So who's
pronounce
doing it wrong?
together.
So who's doing it
I've
wrong?
always
Bumpy?
said it that way.
There is no apes. There's no apes
There's no H in
There's
your
not
in the
APE,
apricot.
but it's
Apricot.
But then my teacher taught me wrong.
Don't
Damn,
blame
well,
your
I've noticed,
teacher,
like,
dude.
from
No,
Blame the
Pennsylvania,
system.
from like Pennsylvania to like the rest of the United States down south, everybody says apricot. But I look at it, and there's no E in it. It's apricot.
Yeah, I
California,
say
they
washcloth. I say washcloth and washing machine, so I don't think English really
Worcestershire.
matters at the end of the day.
It's apricot.
Worcestershire or Worcestershire?
My sister came home in
Do you
elementary
call it a
school.
roof or a rough? I mean,
She had learned.
The roof.
She came
I
home.
my
call it
dog can
roofies
say it.
because when I had that roofie, I was really having a rough night.
I don't know why they say roofie when you're more likely to hit the floor.
I just don't
man.
remember it.
Here in Rhode Island, we have a bit of an accent.
half Italian, half Boston.
So my sister, she went,
Shot on
obviously
video.
we all went to school. She came back from elementary school one day saying that she finally figured it out. She figured it out. There's a difference. I know the meaning of an orange and an orange now. You got an orange color and
I think I've heard that before in Rhode Island. Yep.
I gotta laugh like that too. Islands. My grandma's from Chicago. She's from Chicago. Like Chicago. You're like, what the? Frankie, get your fuck out! Like she's yelling at my dad. I was living with my dad and my grandma for a while. Frankie! You're like, good God, what happened? What did I do wrong? Fuck. I'm not mad. Like, it sounds like you are.
I love that sentence. I'm not mad, but you're gonna make me. Like, oh god.
I love you. I love you. Yeah, dude. Jesus. Can we get Jesus in here now? Bless you, my fine old lady yelling at me. No, you're not. But cool. All right. So thank you, Nina. Thank you. See, I got this. You gotta get it out of me.
Michigan accent is
That was
pretty
great.
much like that.
Bearman has summoned Chris Rock.
So I got one. I got a couple items here. I've got the I've had this before. This I still have a joke in my head from my last video. You know that Carina. This is the Carina peach sour by Ecliptic out of Portland, Oregon. I've had it before and I reviewed it. It's in my. I don't know. It was when I reviewed it when I wasn't into sours and I was kind of probably like. But sours kind of built a palate on me. I think we're good. It's a 5.5%. They're part of the Independent Craft Beer Brewers Association. This is pretty cool. Yeah, 5.5 and a pint and 0.9. No date. I don't see a date or anything like that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and open this. Son of a bitch. Okay. Some vapors coming off the top of that bottle. Nice, like a firework. Let's take it in my nose. Okay. They're kind of burned.
Oh.
A little aggressive. I'm trying to get a little bit ahead. These things usually tend to, the retention's not very good, but this looks like really nice. Holy crap. It's going down pretty quick, actually. The lactic acid, all that stuff kind of brings them down. So it started at about 2 fingers. We'll go for a smell. It definitely has the if any of you had a Berliner Weiss or something like that, the souriness. If that in the chat, I know you guys have all had Berliner Weisses, I'm sure, but they're that soury kind of the sour feel on the nose. It's got that vinegar-esque like feel to it. the apple cider vinegar, maybe more just like a white vinegar actually on this one. I do get the peach. Did I say peach? Is this peach? Yeah, I'm getting like a peach.
Hopefully.
As far as the hopefully I'm getting that. Jesus.
Those
I
vinegars
don't really. It's very slight though. It's kind of like an unripe peach at the moment. It's like you picked it too early and it's got that sour kind of smell to it. But it does have a peach smell to it.
You should put it in a paper bag.
It went up my nose.
Yum.
Oh god damn, that hurt.
Far
Seriously, that was like, I just swear to God, I like one more X left, and then I'm off the.
off the island.
No, it's got the peachiness. I'm not really getting like malts or anything because I'm getting too much lactic acidy like peachiness going through my nose. So let's the head's gone. It's a peach color. What do you know? It's got a very hazy. It's got some sediment at the bottom. Dead, not just like I'm sweaty. They're it's so hot in here. Like they're still alive, man. They're just like waiting for some more sugar, or something. I don't know. Maybe it's sediment from peach. Maybe they put peach in there. I have no idea when they barrel it. They had to have like kept it on some kind of aging or something. It's hazy. It's got I can't see. It's a medium rising bubble. Okay, let's taste this.
And if you don't drink that yeast, you can save it.
Oh,
yeah, hell yeah. Look at my arm, it's sweaty. So this is sour. It's definitely lactic acidy. It's got that ness to it. It tastes like an unripe. Like I said, as the smell gave me, the taste has also given me. The aromas and the taste are similar, which is really cool. I just kind of anyway, I'm lost today. I think I drank too much. Very good. What the fuck? I was tasting it. Oh my god, I'm fucking up today. Anyway, you guys love you.
Medicine up in you.
Dude, you're doing wonderful.
You had too much ganja, man. Sorry.
You're the fucking beer man.
I had too much ganja. All right.
Bumpy gives you a little shoulder rub, pat on the back, wipes your brow. Go.
Oh, I need one of those.
Peach.
We're in your corner, beer man.
Peach really sifts through this really nice. It's a smooth, clean, like sour, like kind of a bitter sour, fresh, like new fruit kind of feel to it in the mouth. Feels a medium body. It's got a lot of texture to it, a little bit of pulpiness in there. It's kind of thick. It's real nice, actually. It's very subtle.
hey, yeah.
Dries off in the back. Probably a medium finish, I guess. Not too long. Kind of pulls off. Let's get some. So we got some from Vermont Creamery, goat cheese from a goat. Because I'm from Canada. So I got the clover blossom honey flavored goat cheese.
Don't you know?
Don't you know? Or North Dakota. Oh my god, that's good.
Yeah.
God, I want some of that, please. I'll have what he's having.
It just lathers the mouth with like this crazy goat cheesiness. It just cakes your tongue, and it pulls up to your palate, your soft palate, more or less. You get a lot of the flavors from soft palate down to your tonsils and your little thing in the back before it goes down. It's very nice. It's a sweet, kind of a sweet, salty, not so salty, but a sweet, honey sweet. It also has kind of like a tangerine flavor to it. So this might go really good with the peach, I'm thinking. Let me have some more. Oh, that's good.
Oh my
that was
god, you're gonna cut your tongue.
Healthy fucking bite of that there.
He's the beer man, dude.
Beer man.
Kids, don't try this at home.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it
Oh,
down.
god damn it. No. Oh, oh, it's like cheesecake again. I got
No
the
way.
cheesecake. No,
Too
cheesecake with the sour, dude. You mix a goat cheese with the sour, it makes a cheesecake feel.
Okay.
It tastes like freaking peaches, apricots, all the stone fruits that like even a little mango in there. It's like this weird kind of tropical-esque, like stone fruity weirdness with this in a cheesecake, you know? Oh my god, it really is good. Let me have some more, please.
So stone fruit is like plums and stuff, right? Peaches.
Peaches.
Anything with a solid seed.
Okay. Okay.
Cherry stone. Well, yeah.
It can be tropical too.
Cherry stones. All right.
I want to mix it through.
I'm learning, and this is fascinating. So far, it looks like goat cheeses are the
God.
best to pair.
Oh my god. With the sour, with a goza, a sour, a goose, or even like you might even want to like go into the realm of like a saison, something funky with it. Yeah.
Well,
very nice.
you'll notice too if you purchase like goat cheeses, you notice that a lot of them are added with fruit, and they usually use like a tart fruit like blueberry or cranberry. So yeah, it's like the cheesery already knows like tartness goes well with it.
Cranberry would be so good. Oh my god, in a cheese. Oh my
I
lord.
feel like our pairs are moving to a similar rhythm here tonight. Like we got
There is.
Bumpy's pairing, we got Beerman's pairing, Nina's pairing. I think at least three of us here on the same kind of fruity tangent. I could see.
Yeah. We've all kind of like evolved in this understanding that, you know,
We're all fruity.
we better find the right cheese with the right fucking beer.
That's how I feel now. I'm gonna go out and milk my own goat.
Sometimes they get wrong, man. Seriously, I mean, it gets real wrong up in here.
Don't milk the male goat.
Oh,
You
Smokey,
can't
thank
tell
you,
me
man.
what to do, Bumpy. You know my real plan.
Hey, Smokey.
Can milk a male goat. He might follow you around too much. So.
Oh yeah, Smokey, man, I appreciate that super chat, man. That's awesome. Thank you.
Shh, don't tell my dad.
Much love. Right on. I got a little buzz. I'm sorry about that. I know I slipped a bit, but it was fun. I had fun.
What do you mean you slipped? That was a wonderful review. I'm going to go out and milk the goat and pair it with the beer right now.
Oh, I had to pull myself together.
Your excitement. You can tell when it's really good is when you're like,
I get so charged.
Here comes Chris Farley. Oh.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this stone fruit, man? Like, what is that? You're like, it's so many stone fruits. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what that means, but I want to taste it, you know?
Anything with a solid stone in it is one stone. Like an apple's not a stone fruit.
So a pit? Is that what you mean?
A pit, yeah.
Okay, so cherries, peaches.
Yeah.
Apricots, you know?
I guess you could call a cherry a stone fruit.
It has a fucking pit, man.
Is cherry considered a fruit or is it considered a berry?
Like a nut fruit.
It's definitely not a berry, dude.
A nut fruit.
I'd be pissed if it was a berry.
A little tiny stone fruit.
So, man, you said you were getting a note of honey from your beer. Was that what? Did you mention that?
Well, I had the sweetness, and I'm assuming that didn't really get like it was. It's a clover honey. It's a
clove honey. Okay.
It's a clover blossom. Let me do that real quick. Actually, if I don't cut my tongue.
Don't do that, man.
It's like copper.
It's that with the creamy texture from the goat cheese. You know, you're getting that texture. You're getting that nice stick to your mouth kind of shit going on. But it's you do get that. It's kind of like an orange blossom, or even in with a little bit of orange in it. You know, like it has kind of an orange feel to it in the taste. It's very orange-like and apricot-like. Even a little peach. It has like this mixture of like those stone fruity, like I don't know. It's really good. I don't know what they put in it. Let me see. It's really good. Just says honey. I mean, it's just sweet from the honey. So And I like clover honey. I like that. That's the one I usually pick when I go to the store, is a clover honey. Mix it
Very
with
floral.
butter and bread. Oh, it's so good.
You
Yeah.
said honey, and it filled a void in my taste buds. And I looked at my bottle, and it's like, what? This sucker's brewed with honey.
Oh, it's
Okay, well, Nina went on the thing before. Let me tell you guys on the package of my cheese. I read this before we went on.
Show me your package.
And it does say on my cheese, it does say, I have it backwards. No wonder I can't read it. It's all backwards.
You better get dyslexic real quick.
Yep.
Just get
Dried
some beer.
honey. My cheese has dried honey in it.
Shut the front door. Everyone had honey.
Everyone has honey.
I'm not kidding you.
No, ballast point.
No honey and Thomas. No honey and Miscellaneous. No honey and just me, Nina, and Bumpy.
Dried honey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honey.
There it is.
It's
Dried
dried.
honey.
It says dried fucking honey.
Clear.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
fruit honey.
it does have a sweetness, so it is nice. Hey, Mike, cheers, man. All right.
Seth Rogen. Oh my god.
I've got that every place I've ever been to, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Working on being a stunt double.
They got some excitement going on. Vodka, pepper
Is
jack.
that you, Smokey? Are you looking like Seth? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah. I've got my voice, my laugh, every job I've ever worked at. They're like, you sound like that white comedian
That's
fat
cool,
guy.
dude.
I was like, yeah. It's never
That's
hell.
funny, dude. Now that he said that, I mean, fuck, now I see it. I'm like, oh, shit. That's Seth Rogen now.
You sound like that. You sound like that white fat comedian, and then you name off like 70
Louis
white
Anderson.
comedians.
No, not Joe to Hill. No, not him. He's fat and white, but not him.
Or not Louis
Keep
C.K. Not Louis C.K.
No, because you never jerked off. So keep going. You got to keep going. It wasn't him. Jack Black. No, it's not Jack Black. I swear to God, it's another one. It's another fat white comedian still living. All right, I think Chris Farley.
No, I think more like Seth Rogen. Yeah, it's more Seth Rogen. But that's a good compliment. I like him. He's fucking funny, man. He makes me laugh.
And he's beautiful.
And he's a stoner from hell. That's cool. So, well, cool, man. Thomas, man, what you think about your beer cheese review?
Yeah,
Give us a score.
All right, that beer cheese was really
Shout
good.
yourself
The
out.
more I drank the beer, the Lawson's Finest Liquid number 4, and then I ate the cheese, the more I noticed that I was getting more of a fruitiness from the cheese and a tartness from the cheese, or the tartness was subdued. I'm getting more fruitiness and more of the sharp tang. A little bit of the salt remained, but not so much of that big tart onslaught. So that was pretty cool. The beer itself is probably both of these are going to get really high ratings. I ended up liking the cheese a little more, so I'll be really nice and generous. The beer was a 93 and the cheese was a 94. And let's just give that let's round it up to 94 overall.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
a
happy with that.
overpassing score. That's perfect.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Noise.
Is cursing allowed? Excuse me. I'm so sorry, Bear.
Oh no, it's just like every 3 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
YouTube will be fine with it.
Oh,
It's past all the kids. It's past all the kids' bedtime. So
I'm just kidding, dude. No,
I hope my mom
I don't
doesn't
ever
watch
monetize these ones, so it's okay. I'm not worried about it. I never put monetization on the lives, so it doesn't bother me.
Why
Just
am I
don't play
watching
copyrighted
ads?
shit in the background. No, right. So, Miscellaneous, what did you think about your stuff, man?
All right. So the beer, I forgot to tell you guys the ABV. It was 7.2%. This saison, me personally, didn't care for it. Like I said, it had that horse blankety, medicinally kind of taste to it. Not that great, in my opinion. Could be somebody else's treasure, but it's my trash tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and rate this at a 70. I don't know. I just didn't care for it. The flavors were there. I mean, the beer is exactly what it's supposed to be. Like I said, I didn't care for that Band-Aid-y flavor that was in there. Like I said, it's just like how if you open a fresh pack of Band-Aids and you smell it, that's the flavor that's coming off of that. Don't really care for it too much. Cheese. The cheese is good. This is very savory goat cheese. I think this would be good on somebody mentioned on like a bagel. I enjoy it. It's really good. I'll rate the cheese at a 90. Together though, it actually really worked. The goat cheese brought down that Band-Aid horse blankety flavor out of the beer, and they mingled very well together, because garlic and beer is a really hard thing to bring together if you guys haven't tried it. If you haven't, give it a whirl. Very sediment rich beer. End up chugging that down here in a minute, but together I'll score it at a 90, because it actually, they did work very well together. The cheese dropped the qualities out of the beer that I didn't like, and it really didn't overtake it. It just intermingled very well. So I'm gonna go 90 together.
Whoa, yeah.
It's not
Very
my
good.
favorite beer.
That's it.
No, there
Some
actually
saisons
is.
are hit or miss for me. I mean, this one I usually like Brett's, and this didn't hit the mark for me.
There's an IPA out there. It's by Oscar Blues. It's called Deviant Dale. So it's a double IPA, and that one is onion and garlic. It's an onion and garlic forward IPA, and it's actually really good. So
Nice.
if you
I
can
haven't
find
seen
it,
that one.
try
I'll
it.
be keeping my eyes out. I always check out the Oscar Blues section.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in about 4 years, but
You never know when they're gonna pop up with some of that stuff. So
Dates matter.
Band-Aids matter.
yeah, and at least it was fresh Band-Aids, not used ones.
Yeah.
No used
Then
band.
you're dealing with a whole nother.
Used Band-Aids don't matter.
I'm just sorry. I mean, if you guys have
Those away
never,
from me.
I know
Grab
Beer Man
another
has had it.
swimming
I'm
pool.
sure Bumpy has had it. It's just that very particular. It's a saison thing, man. If you don't drink them, you wouldn't know.
Nice. Yeah. No, that's good. I'm glad the cheese worked though. So that brought it up. That brought the score up. So sorry the beer wasn't as good as
What are you gonna do?
wanted, but what are you gonna do exactly? So right on. Well, what did you think, Smokey man? Smokey Ninja.
Okay, so the Ballast Point Victory at Sea did not survive until the roundabout. It is absolutely the best beer I have had until this point. I'm probably about 3 months deep into this journey of beerdom, and I would highly recommend this. This 10% is going to get you in trouble because you don't taste it. And they date the bottle right on the bottom. This one's 7 months old, and I'm telling you, the coffee notes didn't fade. And as it warmed up, I got caramel. I started getting more sweet notes. So if I could repair this with the cheese, now knowing what I would go with, I'd go with like a berried Havarti, some kind of dessert cheese.
Oh yeah.
But with my stout, because I'm heavy into porters, and I know this says a porter, but when I drank it, it screams stout all the way down my mouth into the mouthfeel of this beer, Ballast Point. This is the best beer I've ever had. Unbelievable. Nice. It has to get perfect 10 out of 10 because I've never had a beer that high a percentage with that much taste, mouthfeel, and I'm into nitros, and the way that they carbonated this beer, it just dances off the tongue as I drink it. It's absolutely delightful.
Very cool. That's awesome.
Oh, I can't read that.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad it worked for you, bro.
Thanks for having me, Beer Man. Thank you so much for hosting these nights.
Of course, dude. No problem, dude.
I'm learning.
Thank you for being here.
Next time,
I love
I'm going to get
for being here, man. Thank you. Appreciate
next time I'll get maybe a canned cheese or carton cheese. Or I'll step it up. I swear. I promise.
Some Cheese Whiz. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Bring whatever you want. Whatever works. Honestly, I'm not condemning you for bringing cheese. Yeah, Cheese Whiz or even a slice of whatever.
It wasn't good. It was just all right. It could have been cheddar.
Right on, man. Well, cool, man. Bumpy, thank you. I appreciate it, Smokey. Thank you so much. Bumpy, it's your turn. What you got to say? what you got to say.
Well, first off, I'm gonna say that when I was a kid, I did have a rabbit. It was an all-white rabbit with red eyes.
Those
So
are scary.
albino, pretty much. We called it Snowball. We also left it outside in a cage. And
They're
one
happiest.
winter, one winter, went out to feed the rabbit, and Snowball was frozen to death.
Oh my god!
So all I can say about that is we named the rabbit appropriately.
You shamilated me. I didn't see that twist coming, man. That was such a weird story. That was like, yeah, he's dead.
He's dead. Snowball was a frozen snowball, more like an ice ball, but
Cheers to
and also Smoky Ninja. This was a 750 milliliter bottle. That's all I have left of it, 11%.
Fucking proud of you, Bumpy.
Yeah, so we got that going. So speaking of the beer now, I have to bring this up. I didn't mention this at the first when I was
You've been holding out.
talking about it. I don't really like quads all that much.
Me neither. To be honest.
Yeah, so this is a quad, and does it match up to like the actual Belgian ones like you get from like Chimay or Saint Bernardus or any of the? No, it doesn't. I mean, those quads are a lot better. They have more, they just have better fruitier flavors coming through, a lot more plum and all that stuff, and they just I don't know, there's more complexity to them. But for this being 11%, not really showing the alcohol at 11% as much, still having some decent flavors, and me not really caring that much for quads, I think I'm going to give this a 92 out of 100 for this.
Very good.
Wow.
Very good.
Moving over to the cheese. I'm kind of I like things that don't have artificial flavoring added to them. This cheese had artificial flavoring. They added artificial mango flavoring to it.
Wow.
And the habanero, it had a little bit of spice, which was nice. I would have liked a little bit more spice, but I also would have liked to actually taste, because habanero is one of those peppers that you can get the heat, but you can also get a flavor off of it. It's not like so spicy that it's just like kill yourself. So I would have liked some habanero flavor along with a little bit more heat. And I think that, if they used the real mango in it, just, little mango chunks in the cheese would have made that so much better. I mean, the Gouda itself is, it's a soft buttery cheese. If it's not smoked, I mean, the smokiness, when you get a smoked Gouda, it's mostly the smoke that you're really like, wow, this is good. I like the smokiness to it. So I think with the artificial flavoring and all that stuff, and it could have been a little bit more spicy, had more flavor from the habanero itself, I'm going to land it at like an 87 out of 100 for the cheese. The combination, neither one of them really, they just balanced out. They didn't overtake one another. They were just like, kids that just played well in the playground. There was you didn't have to like go, hey, how'd your knee get scraped up? And then one kid has to make up a story of how they fell down and scraped their knee, when really it was because the other kid was like, shoving them to the ground. So I think for an overall pairing, I'm going to give it like an 89 out of 100.
It still passes. So
Wow.
I mean,
Still passes. It worked.
That's
It
good,
worked
though.
okay. It was just a balance.
no, that's good, man. Hell yeah, dude.
And now with more
you're not
news-
throwing up, so we're okay.
Oh yeah, I'm not throwing up. I still got more
Speak
cheese
for
left.
yourself. That's how I keep this figure.
Look at that, Paul. I didn't finish all of the cheese yet.
Actually, just talked to Paul. He's building a doghouse.
Oh, he didn't finish all the cheese yet? Is he building
I'm dead serious. I'm
Yes,
talking to him on the hangout.
yes.
He's building a doghouse right now.
Oh man, he's got Bob Ross hair from hell, dude. That is the
Not
coolest
anymore.
fucking afro I've ever seen. Oh, he caught it?
You didn't see the pictures today?
They just showed the big old hair. I didn't see the cut hair.
Oh, yeah, he's
Oh,
all.
Tim is gone.
Oh, damn. All right.
I'm glad you said that because I thought the same thing about the painter fella. It's very similar look.
Bob Ross.
You guys said it,
The
not
Bob
me.
Ross, man. I said it.
There you go, Deadpool.
Cheers, Deadpool. That's awesome, man. Hell yeah, dude. That's
Cheese
nice,
money.
man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, you guys are awesome, man. We got Michelle in the house too. Freaking Sparkles, what's up? How you doing? All right, man. Man, we got a great little chat here. 18 people in the house. Hell yeah. All right. Well, Nina, what do you think about your stuff? What's up with yours?
I've been pondering on mine. I've been appreciating the chat, appreciating the panel, especially these fruity notes have been interesting to me. I got a very neutral cheese here. You could eat this every day. I found a little Easter egg on the side of the can. It says, "For us, lasting friendships come naturally." That's the friendship cheese saying, and this is a very friendly pair I found here. The grapefruit and the cottage cheese, very breakfasty. I love it. This is a great pair. The beer, you could put a dent in one of these, but then I kind of like lose my interest in these shandies. I don't know why they're so popular. I think they're good for the beach, so you can like drive home safely. You know what I mean? Like 1 or 2 beers and have a snack, and you know what I mean. You can still get home. I think this is only 4.2% alcohol.
Damn.
But yeah, it's a tasty little beer. There's actually
4.2.
4.2. Yeah, like a light beer. But it's not a light beer. This is probably pretty hefty in calories with the lemonade and all that. One of these by the Leinenkugel, I got their like sampler pack, and they have a berry Weiss, which is like a grape honey. I don't know what else is in it. Anyway, it's one of these shandy kind of things with the extra yeast and the the wheat. And it's almost like a Shasta soda, Shasta grape soda. And I had to like hide those. I put them in the warmth in my basement to keep them away from myself because I could have slugged all 3 of those down like on the ride home pretty much. They were so delicious. This one is good. It's good. Leinenkugel has a following. You see a lot of like Narragansett Beer has a contract brewed summer shandy package out right now. I would like to try that and compare it to something with a proven track record like these Leinenkugels. I guess this is like a good benchmark to compare to. So I'm looking forward to trying another one this season. I would say for the style, I'd rate this pretty high. This is probably like a 90. I don't like to go all the way. I'm going to go 97. Hot 97, summertime. And the cottage cheese, 100%. This is the building blocks of cheeses. If you don't like this, I don't know what to tell you. There are people that come out and have a smear campaign against cottage cheese right out of the gate. And, you try it before you knock it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Looking at
I
you,
love cottage cheese. It's my favorite.
Well, I'd have to say, Nina, though. I mean, cottage cheese as a foundation, it's a little bit liquid. I'm not sure how solid that foundation is going to be.
We discussed that way when you add
You're supposed to stir it in. That's the good stuff. Just like with sour cream and stuff, where you get that little pool on top. That's actually the best part of the whole thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the curds. I like all the little curds and stuff. They mush in your mouth and it's so good. I love that, man.
It's texture, man. You love it or hate it. That's the only way.
See, it's like I don't like cottage cheese, but I could eat poutine. You know what I mean?
I said the same thing to my wife.
That's totally different.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
Just get over it.
No.
I was eating
beer, man.
I was like, what?
We all eat a little bit of that beer, man.
Let me eat more cheese. Hold on.
That also pairs very well with beer, if I might add.
I'm sure.
All
But
right.
actually, most Polish people don't eat.
All right, no more of that.
Don't eat cheeses. So,
No more. Okay. No mas. No mas of that. Okay. I have heard that the actually it was oh man, forgot his channel name, and he's so cool, and he hasn't been up in a long time. I hope he's all right. But he told me that the shandy, that one you had, is actually very good, and I should buy a 6-pack of it. Yeah, and I have it, and I can get it, so I might actually get it just to have on hand. It might be in my fridge for a while, but at least to try one of them would be cool. So
it's a summer brew.
Yeah, it's extremely sessionable. Leinenkrugel's are something I knew about before I got into craft beer. It's
Nice.
so delicious.
They make a Kolsch
awesome.
too. The canoe paddler Kolsch is kind of.
Oh, they do?
What is a Kolsch? What is a Kolsch?
We had a show about Kolsch. Oh, Bumpy had a show.
It's like a hybrid ale lager kind of hybrid. They condition it in lager temperatures for a month, but they ale it off. It's a Kolsch ale yeast that they use. You can get a Kolsch yeast for it specifically, and you do it at like 60 degrees or something Fahrenheit, or 58 degrees is what you want to ferment it at for 2 weeks or whatever, and then you would cold crash it or whatever for like you would a lager or whatever, just to kind of thin it out and clear it up. Make that shit brilliant, you know what I mean, for a good month or more. Keep it in a fridge.
So it's like a hybrid,
as much as you know, whatever you can. It's a hybrid beer. There's a great history on the beer actually too, a very cool history actually. It comes from Cologne, Germany. It's they kind of have their own little standards within Germany about this particular style. And it's very interesting. It's a fun thing. I have a Kolsch live that I did. If you wanted to learn like a little bit, I just spit out a bunch of my crap on my recipe times. But you can go back and kind of learn about what I said if you're willing to listen to it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, it gets a little boring on my recipe times. But is there no? Kolsch is a good beer. Kolsch is a good beer. Bumpy made a Kolsch. Bumpy made recently Kolsch, and then
it's not a good beer.
But there's certain things that you wanted to like fix on it. So that's part of homebrewing though. That's the beauty of it. So
like put it in my fermentation chamber where I can actually keep it at fermentation temperature that needs to be at. Yeah.
Right.
It helps a lot.
Yeah. Would you say you boiled that at for 90 minutes instead of 60?
No, I did 60 minutes. It wasn't the boil.
Okay.
There's no off notes. I think with because there's distill, which you can get from using Pilsner malt, and that's kind of what you want to boil off from like Pilsner malt. Is that, and I think that's that's kind of that cream corny flavors that you can get from it. But I didn't have any distill. I had the diacetyl or diacetyl, however it's pronounced, which is a fermentation problem, which happens during all fermentation. It's just a byproduct of yeast doing its thing. But it was just fermented way too high, and the temperatures were fluctuating day to night because I didn't put it in my fermentation chamber because we were using it as an actual fridge. So I ended up with what diacetyl or diacetyl is a byproduct from fermentation from yeast, which is actual butter flavoring. They actually use it for movie theater butter. If you get that, it's the same thing.
They're a lot like Pilsners. They have that cracker bready kind of taste to them. They actually use Pilsner malts. So it's, well, you can use two-row if you wanted, but it might be a better option to use two-row, I think, because it's more modified. But where Pilsner's a little less modified, you might even want to do a rest or something like that to kind of break down the enzymes in the brewing process. So, but
we'll give it a second.
It's all up to the brewer. I love brewing. It's an interesting thing. Oh yeah.
Drawing up a
We'll
butter
let the head settle down.
That's a great head, though. Jesus Christ, that looks nice.
Well, once it settles down, though, you'll see that it is clear. It looks like a Kolsch. Like everything's nice about it, except it's buttery. So, but yeah, we can continue on. I'm just gonna let this head die and I'll show you the clarity of it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Well, I appreciate all you guys, and no, I really, this has been a fun kind of. I didn't even know 1 hour and 19 minutes went by, but yeah. So my beer alone, it was a good sour. You know, the Corinna is a really good one. Justin's had that. He's actually, I didn't get this from you guys actually at Main Street, but I forgot where I got this, to be honest. Justin usually he's if you go to he's the guy. I go to Main Street Market. He's a manager at Main Street Market. He has a lot of singles to pick from and a lot of other beers. And him and I talk every once in a while when I go on. So it's kind of nice to see. He likes to come and see where the style, what people have and this and that, so he can order it. And he likes to help me out too. I like that too. So you're a good guy. But this is a good beer. It's a very good sour. I think I would give this a 94. I'll give it a 94. It had a Berliner Weiss feel to it. The sourness was real Berliner, like vinegary. Like that's what I've always gotten out of the Berliner Weisses. Well, like a straight German one, you're not getting anything but like an apple cider vinegar or some kind of like. You're not getting, because they don't put flavors in their stuff. You know, this is probably had peach in the secondary or however they did it. But you don't get a lot of the peach. But you do get it in the aromas. You do get it, and you actually get the peach when you eat the cheese. This goat cheese is like absolutely wonderful. A sweet, it's very nice. The sweetness from the honey, the texture of it. I love goat cheese so much. This is 100 in my opinion. It couldn't be made any better. If someone same thing, I'm sure it would taste the same, honestly. So I am going to give it 100. The beer 94. We'll go with a 96 altogether. Like a very good, well-rounded almost A+ kind of range. So very good beer, very good combo. So cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers, beer man. Cheers, brother.
Been fun. I'm sweaty as hell right now. It's hot as hell in here, dude.
I get that way with that Bumpy too.
Nope.
I'm wiping the sweat
means.
off the glass right now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Look at that lacing though, Bumpy. Look at that lacing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's my Kolsch. I call it Kobe 19. And it does have a nice clarity to it. If this was in a different glass, you'd see it better. This is pretty cold coming out of the keg, so it does have some chill
out of your dream keg back there.
That.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
It looks nice. It looks the part. It leaves nice lacing. Builds a nice head. But yeah, the problem was it's got a buttery flavor to it.
What's wrong with that though? I love butter. You can put butter on everything.
Well, butter is not something that you're typically looking for in a beer. It's an off flavor, and it comes from fermentation. It's a natural thing that comes through fermentation. Usually, the yeast will go through and clear all that up, unless it's not fermented correctly, which mine was not. High temperatures going up and down overnight, and sometimes in the 80-degree range, which unless you're using the Kvike yeast, you don't want to ferment at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And so I'm left with a buttery lemony beer because I used Sriracha Ace.
Now,
The Sriracha Ace hops, hey, they did their part. They put out that lemon flavor, and so it's like lemon. It's like a lemon butter.
So
I can tell you, I use this as a spritz. I use this as a spritz and a binder on my pulled pork, and it worked well. In that,
you should do some mussels or some clams in that. You would be so amazed.
Cook with that. Oh my god!
And peppers, all that.
So have you used excuse my ignorance, but gravity to check the alcohol content? Like, are you able to know exactly what you're?
Oh yeah, this is 5.5% ABV.
Okay.
See, everything comes out
Bumpy
right.
Yeah,
knows
you can see I
all
got
that shit.
two beers back there on my board.
He's very
I-
precise when it comes
Ever-
to the
Oh, I
shot.
know. He's very like he's rigid.
I'll be brewing tomorrow. I'll be brewing a Hefeweizen.
Ooh.
Nice,
So.
man. All right. Cool, man. That's awesome.
God,
Look at
that
you
looks
up to
like a
large.
gorgeous
About that.
beer. It looks so good though.
Well, shit. Yeah, it does. It looks beautiful, actually. And it plays the part of a cold shit. The numbers, everything sounds perfect with it. So the look of it, everything, it's nice. If it wasn't for that damn diacetyl or, the diacetyl or whatever the fuck that science name is.
However it's pronounced.
But the butter shit. But, yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, let's see what chat's saying real quick. Is anyone on the panel or chat out in the East Coast, Massachusetts area? Yes, right up here, right to my right. Your left.
Right here.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Southeast.
So,
I'm about 20 minutes away from Massachusetts too.
and
so.
both, two guys up in the
And Rhode Island.
Northeast. What's
Yeah,
your question,
we escaped
Justin?
Massachusetts for our freedom, but we're pretty close still.
It has to be Treehouse or Trillium.
Yeah,
That's the only
you
reason
are
why
too.
people are asking about Northeast.
That guy out of Boston, that Roger Williams guy, and then he founded Rhode Island. So there you go.
What cheers it says, they say. So they say.
What I have in mind to ask Justin, is there something that you want to ask?
Fuck yeah.
Seems like there's some intention behind that
I
question.
didn't know what to say, dude.
Dude, perfect.
I asked
You got your point,
I'm closer to Phil Hill Farmstead than Thomas Mallory. So
yeah, Justin says
about that.
Treehouse.
It's Treehouse.
If you can get Treehouse, I would.
I'm a walking distribution center.
I'll give you a hug, Justin, if you want to give you a hug. Oh yeah, you get some Treehouse.
Anything like I've heard that is the best beer, and I've had some local beers like Sunny Cap. It's in St. Louis. I think Eminem's from there. I Second Shift Brewery, hands down the best IPA I've ever had. I can chug that stuff down. It is
awesome.
What I can say, a lot, from the Trillium versus Treehouse thing, I like a lot of Trillium IPAs. The biggest difference is for me is when you buy them super fresh. Treehouse you can drink super fresh, and it just seems it doesn't have as much of a green flavor to it as if you drink Trillium super fresh. It's like sometimes it's just like way too much. It's way too green, and you actually have to sit on it for a week or two. But Treehouse is almost ready to drink right when it's tapped from the
Fresh.
Fresh
on
on the very
strong yeasty flavor.
Wow.
Treehouse that much.
You're gonna have to make good, bud. One of y'all. Justin's asking.
Uh-oh.
Oh wait, what happened? Oh shit! I wasn't paying attention to y'all. Oh my god!
Yes,
I gotta pee so bad.
Up then.
Second shift is very good. Hell yeah, dude.
just let it go, man.
I don't like it.
Waste. No one can tell. I'll keep a secret.
I've seen narrow gauge before.
The
Don't
show
make me
must
laugh,
go on
man.
here, man.
Well, shoot, man. No, we're gonna go ahead and call this, but yeah, we'll go ahead and end this. We usually try to do it within an hour, but it's been such a good chat and such a great panel. I really appreciate everything, guys, gals, gal. Thank you so much, and I thank you. We're gonna go ahead and end it. You guys have a good night. Cheers, much love. I'm on my last drink. All right, cheers, man.
Cheers.